This is the eSports exclusive, presented by DX Racer.
What is up, everybody? I'm Matt, alongside the one and only Mathos, and we're going to bring you the latest news from the past week in esports, starting with Epicenter. What a crazy tournament this was. The grand finals of SK Game against Virtus Pro. What are they doing in the finals?
They managed to overcome one of the most disgusting slumps in the history of that team. They went through some of the most ridiculous swings you could possibly think of. Down 2-5, double overtime in the finals, ending in a 3-2 set. The one thing that this fairy tale story didn't get was a happy ending. Virtus Pro ends up losing to SK Gaming. One hell of a match, though. If you care about CounterStrike, have ever played CounterStrike before, or know friends that have played CounterStrike, you need to see this footage. It is one of the games that everyone is already saying is undeniable game of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, coldzera comes out of it with 130 kills in a best of 5 with all those overtimes, and he did it with a stand-in in Bolt as well. It might not be a stand-in for much longer.
Yeah, no doubt.
And over to Canada Cup, where there was all kinds of fighting game tournaments going on. Street Fighter V, Marvel vs. Capcom, of course, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it was just as crazy as that Epicenter.
Every single game ended up in a double jeopardy situation with someone losing in the winners. We'll start with Street Fighter V. Dogura loses to Goichi in winners finals, but runs through Itabashi to get back in the grand finals, resets the bracket, and beats him to take the whole tournament in the last open qualifier for the Canada Cup Pro Tour, shoring up his qualification. But that's not all. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite saw no-name player Timo from Canada beat Justin Wong to get into winners finals, but only to lose to Richard Wynn. He then runs it back against Justin Wong, gets into grand finals, resets the bracket through a double KO, and ends up taking the tournament. He earns himself the Mind Stone and a seat at the big boys table, soon to be a real big haul for this cat. He's only 20, the kid can bang. But we're not done yet. Smash Melee, the return of Mewtwo King, loses in winter semis to Leffen, slaughters everyone on his way, including Armada, to get back into grand finals, dusts Leffen 3-0 to reset, and then a super tight last match, 3-2, Mewtwo King takes it. Every single match was a paragon of these games, must-see TV.
Yeah, it was quite the throwback at this Smash tournament, seeing Armada not in the grand finals and Leffen all of a sudden back in there with Mewtwo King taking it down. Very impressive. Also a throwback is this Worlds 2017 finals, SKT against Samsung Galaxy. Just like last year when Samsung almost pulled off the reverse sweep, couldn't get it done. They'll have another chance this year.
Yeah, SKT seems to be on a serious roll. They're looking to get the big three-peat in Worlds. I mean, it's unprecedented in League, and I think it's pretty much unprecedented in all of esports as far as I'm concerned. How many times can SKT be down 2-1 and then clutch back an entire series? They'll let you know when they stop counting.
Yeah, and they are 9-0 in elimination games. That's why they've won 3 World Championships and are now going to their 3rd straight final. Very impressive for SK Telecom. Not so impressive as the EU LCS. They're taking a huge step back from their alleged plans for 2018, which was this Champions League style format where they would have 24 teams across all these different regions. Now it's just their one region in Berlin and their usual suspects in the EU LCS playing a double best of 1. Franchising looks like it's coming in 2019 unless they step back from that yet again.
Yeah, it's one of those things where your giant leap turns into a small hop. And quite frankly, I mean, if they can't get their ducks in a row now, it might be better to just sit back, test the water, see how things work out for 2018, and maybe go for the full adoption with franchising in 2019.
Yeah, and they said it was because of some logistical reasons. There were definitely a lot of things that had to go right for them to get this done in that short time span. Didn't happen, so now we're back to what we're used to seeing in the good old days. Some COD drama going on as well. Draco eSports signed a team, and then that team left just 1 day later. Why is that?
Well, apparently, when you get on Twitter, anything you say stays up there forever. So some homophobic and racial slurs from the CEO and a long list of theoretical sponsors that they never actually had locked down. These cats got emailed within 24 hours of their announcement being signed to Draco eSports, and these cats ran for the hills immediately, justifiably so. In this bubble of the world of esports consistently growing, the amount of crooked sponsors is going to escalate. So the due diligence on friends and teams to get themselves out of this hot fire is paramount, because nobody needs to be stuck in a contract where they make no money.
Definitely not a great situation for those players now looking for a brand new team. The Overwatch League, they've announced a bunch of new rosters, a bunch of new team names. You've got the London Spitfires, you've got the Houston Outlaws, which have an absolutely sick logo. Check it out. So we've got all these new teams with new rosters, new looks, and then there's still this combine coming up, but everyone already has a full roster. Kind of a confusing situation.
Yeah, it seems like we have only 2 teams that haven't announced even a partial roster yet, which makes you really wonder, why are we even doing this combine? The preseason's in December, which means by the time we get there, we'll have a month to determine what 12th string bench warmer they want to pick up from the top 500 selected players that they pull off the ladders and online. If anyone hasn't been signed by that point in time, then maybe they shouldn't have been signed in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. But still, they're looking to fill some seats with this Overwatch League, whether they've got these combine kids or the pros they've already got on these rosters. Also filling seats, Mathis and I on these DX Racer chairs. Make sure you go to dxracer.com, use the code SHOTCALLERS for 15% off one of these bad boys. For Mathos, I'm Matt. We'll see you next time.
This is the eSports exclusive, presented by DX Racer.